Carson City Federal Building on Friday, August 5th, a little bit after noon. This big old gate's open right here. Just walk right in. Keeping me out right there. Let's go see what this gate here says. No signs, no nothing on this gate. Just a thing blocking for the cars. So no signs saying pedestrians keep out. So this sign says no skateboarding, roller skating, rollerblades, bicycle riding, federal property, 41 Code of Federal Regulations 102-74C. Violators will be prosecuted. U.S. General Services Administration 775-784-5447. Federal Building. Seems like they don't have a whole lot of people here for this whole big building. This one says, parking lot for authorized visitors and employees only. Park at your own risk. Authorized vehicles and employees. Never been here. Federal Building, United States Post Office. This is a post office. United States of America, Richard Nixon, GSA. So we've got the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Bureau of Reclamation, Federal Highway Administration, Federal Motor Carrier, Janitorial, Building Maintenance, Denver Mega Center. What is that? Small Business Administration. Scroll to select. Masks required. Masks required. Well, I wonder if I ask for a skateboarding. Bureau of Indian Affairs use north entrance. Hi, I'm on camera. It's a cool building. Hours of operation. So this is right there. This is hours of operation Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Closed 12 to 12:30 p.m. Since push the button to the right. This is Federal Building Visitors Parking. 2-hour limit. So what are the rules? What are the rules? What are the rules? Reclaim vehicle. Got this big old fence up here. On this whole fence here, no signs of any type. So is this like a open area here then? What do we got back here? Got some cars, a firefighter plate, Pyramid Lake. So I could go up those doors there. I got nothing. Are they locked? I wonder if they're locked. Let's see what happens if we circle back over here. These are government cars, U.S. government. So did this really expire November 2021? This one expires 2030. So that says November 2021. What does that mean? Did they break the law? Yes, this truck right here has expired tags. Unless I'm reading that wrong. Does the federal government have different rules? What's this one say? Okay, that's November 2026. November 26th. What's this guy doing? Ah, he's August of 2022. He's almost done. September 2022. This one's almost ready.
Hey, can I help you?
I'm just looking around.
No, you can't look around. You're on federal property.
I am, I know.
Yeah.
Why can't I look around?
Are you an agency employee?
Why can't I look around?
Because it's trespassing.
Oh, what's your name?
You're inside federal property.
What's your name?
I'll just call FPS right now.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
No, you're not asking questions.
No, I'm
You
asking.
have a camera on me right now,
Yeah,
sir.
I do.
And you're filming the property.
I'm just asking questions. Okay. That one's not done. I'll be around. I don't want to run away, so if they're going to come, I want to talk to them. I just asked a question, sir. You came out and were rather hostile, I think. No, I'm just taking pictures of stuff. I don't?
No.
Are you determining my reasons for doing what I'm doing?
Well, why are you doing it?
Because I want to take pictures in public and document what I see in government property.
This is a federal
Yes.
property right here. This is the public.
Well, who owns who?
Gates right
Well,
there.
who owns the government? And do those gates say no trespassing, no entry? Are there any signs up, or are the gates wide open for the public to walk in?
Gates are wide open for the people that work here to come and park.
Okay, but it's a publicly accessible space, right?
It's not really a public building, no.
So it's not a public building, it's a federal building owned by the federal government, funded by
Unless
tax.
you have business with the agencies here, then you're not welcome here.
I do have business.
And what's your business?
What? Can you help me with my, what do you do here?
I'm the maintenance guy, but what do you,
Oh.
where do you need to go to? Who do you need to see?
Well, number one, I'm documenting, taking pictures, and exercising my First Amendment constitutional rights, right?
You know what? Get out of here, dude. You're just off. You're running. We'll call the police. We'll let that
Okay, call the police. I'm happy to talk to them. I just want to understand the law. If there's a law I'm breaking, please let me know. But I didn't see any no trespassing signs, and it's open to the public. Oh, look. Right there, that door right there. They're leaving that open. So anybody can come and go in this door right here. Let's look at this door. And that's, yeah, No signs on this door either. No signs anywhere. Yeah. Okay, that's nice. Okay, let's find if we find any expired tags on any of these. 29. 29, you're good. 25. Oh. Cool. I appreciate that. What's your name again?
Not again, I never told you my name.
Oh.
Hopefully you're with Homeland Security.
No, I'm just a private citizen. You have a nice day, sir. Tell him to come see me. Yeah, that's another security thing. Is make sure that door's closed. So he moved the cone. So that's kind of good. Ramp up security. That's November. That's September. That one's September. It's Kentucky. It's kind of a cool plate. It's May of 23. So he's good. Uh-oh. What is this? Whose car is this? March 2022. He's a little expired right there. Found a couple expired tags here at the federal place. September 2022, that one's almost ready to expire. $20.27. $20.27. We'll skip those and go back up over here now. I'm going to come in a minute. I will. You too. And I don't want to break the law, so we won't go in there because that says masks. Does this door say masks? Oh. The door's locked. Oh, this one's open.
No, you can't come in.
Nice, this one's open.
Nope,
So is
you
this a
can't come in.
publicly accessible space?
No, it isn't.
Hi, how are you? Can you please?
Not publicly accessible.
The door's open. Or
You
does it-
just opened it.
Yeah, the door's unlocked, open to the public. Where does it say keep out? Does it say no trespassing,
I
keep
don't know
out?
what you're doing, sir. I don't know what you're doing. This is not for public.
How is a federal building not for public? Do you have Fish and Wildlife Services? Are they open to the public?
Just close the door. You're not welcome.
Yeah.
Please don't assault me.
No, you're starting in. You're
You know, see,
instigating
what he's
things.
doing,
I don't know what you're
this is what
doing.
he's doing. He's trying to get something so he can sue us.
I'm
That's what he's
not
doing.
trying to sue anybody. I'm seeing if
I
I,
don't
can
know
go
what
to
you're
the
doing, sir.
wildlife.
We get people off the bus
I
stop
can
here
see-
coming in and causing issues in
I
here.
just got
okay?
off the phone with Homeland Security. You are more than welcome to walk around
Yeah,
the
you
outside
can
of the
walk
building
around
and
all
take
you want.
pictures.
Right.
You are not allowed to come in this building.
Where does it say that the public is not allowed to come in the building when
You
the door
call
is
up
unlocked?
Homeland Security. Here, come here. Call this number right here.
Yeah, call
No,
Homeland Security.
they can come and talk to me.
Right here.
They can, and hey, I got a question here. So,
Yeah.
that sign right over there. That says masks required. Don't you
we
guys have?
just put them up
So you just put the signs up?
just now.
Just now.
So
yeah.
who
Yes.
ordered the signs to go up?
You know what? You get the fuck out of here, man.
Wow, that's kind of polite. I'm just asking people that are paid with tax dollars.
You're acting very suspicious.
No, I just want to come into a
Sir,
publicly accessible
This
building.
isn't publicly accessible.
How is a federal building
Do you
with an
have
unlocked
business
door?
with any agency here?
Yes.
Which
Who?
one and who?
All of them.
No, you don't.
No.
Bullshit. No, you
So
don't.
you're off. You're going off the rails now with the questioning.
Off the rails, questioning employees
Yeah.
that are paid with tax dollars. Questioning
Oh
is bad.
boy. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get yourself into a deeper.
How
hole
am I
with-
in a hole taking pictures walking around in a public building?
We go by standards here with the FPS.
Right.
Nobody can just wander in the building and plug their phone in and sit on the floor, things of that
Well, no,
nature.
that's loitering. You can't do that. That absolutely not. You can't do that. That's against the law.
So you're forcing your way into this building, and we're employees of the building, stating that you can't come in. So you're going to force your way into there. What's that called?
How have I forced anything? Have
You're
I?
trying to force yourself in there right now.
No, I haven't
And
touched.
just
I haven't
stated
touched
to
you. I haven't come
No,
close
no,
to
no,
you.
don't even go
How have
there.
I
Don't
forced
even go
anything?
there.
I opened
I
opened an
just
open
stated
door and you
that
grabbed
you
it and you
cannot
pulled it back
enter
onto my
into the
foot.
building, sir.
Who are you to tell me what to
And-
do?
I'm an employee of this building. I'm a contracted employee.
So what right does that give you to tell another human being what they can and cannot
Oh
do?
my gosh.
What regulatory authority do you have?
Yeah, you're just
A guy
you're
that likes laws.
instigating things.
No, I'm
you're
walking
instigator,
around
sir. This
and
is
I'm
the kind of thing
videotaping
that- I don't know what you're doing.
and I'm getting
You
into.
don't know what you're doing.
I know
probably.
exactly what I'm doing.
I know you're instigating things.
Did I approach you or did you approach me?
You approached the front of the building, and the minute I saw you,
I approached a
I knew
public
there
door.
was something,
Well, what am I doing then?
We get people walking in the building wanting to walk up there and sit in a chair up on the third floor.
So
We have to usher them out.
what's wrong with that?
It's trespassing.
So it's what law did they break to be trespassed? So can you explain to me exactly what a trespass is? How do you get trespassed from public property?
I'm not going to go into the logistics, but what
Yeah, I just want to look around and look at the public building.
you can't look in the building. It's not public accessibility.
A front door.
You just got in there
That's
'cause
open.
It was shaking.
It was shaken.
Unjarred the
No, it opened easily. I've got it on camera, buddy. I pulled it and it opened easily. Those other ones over there that I tried were definitely locked.
What do you think? Why do you think they were locked?
I don't know that there's no sign that says why they're locked. COVID's done. Again, why do you have the masks required? Who ordered the masks required sign? And why don't you guys have masks?
Why don't you have a mask?
Well,
Where's your
because
We just
I'd like an accommodation
posted them
under the Americans with
immediately.
Disabilities Act. Can you make a reasonable accommodation for me to waive the mask requirement?
You're fucking weird, dude.
No, I'm just asking legal questions.
You are fucking weird.
How is it weird to ask for a reasonable accommodation? Isn't
I don't
that the
know what you're
language?
People, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
then why don't you
I don't
guys
make
let me
the
in the
rules.
building?
No.
You're just instigating a situation
reason to be in
beyond
this
all comprehension of what you're causing problems
I'm
on purpose.
I'm trying to come into a
Purposeful-
taxpayer-funded building
No, you're not.
to do
To do
my
what?
business.
No business. You have no business in here.
Who are you to define
You're
what my business
You're
is?
instigating a situation.
No, if you guys would just go back to work and let me walk around and
No,
do my
we
business,
can't.
we wouldn't
We're not
have an
allowed
issue.
to let just people walk in and walk around.
So where is the law?
The law's on its way right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I just want to know
So
where
you
the
want to
law
cause
is.
an issue on a Friday to?
No, I just
to-
want to ask
to
questions and
prove
come
your
see
point of some weird. I don't know what it is, but I've seen a lot of it. I've seen a lot of bloggers and videographers on the, and you're probably one of them. You're gonna probably put us all online like you are probably right now.
So if that's what you if that's what you think, why are you engaging me instead of just disengaging and calling
Because
law
you're
enforcement?
not gonna enter the building.
So it's
You
but
stand here and wait till FPS shows up.
okay.
And then you can talk to them either way.
So either way they'll hopefully they'll educate both of us.
They'll educate you. We already know.
No, see
We have meetings. We have meetings with FPS about how and when to react.
okay, so
Okay, what you're doing right now is just
walking
you're
around
getting
and
off on the videos. You're getting off on the videotaping. It's I don't know.
I'm doing this to cover my
You're
to
running.
protect
No, you're
myself
No,
because this protects
you're not
me.
covering anything. We're just telling you exactly what's going on.
This protects
You're not
me.
allowed in the building. It's not a public accessible building. And then you're saying what law? Blah blah blah.
Yes, because isn't everything government does regulated by law
I guess.
or federal code?
Sure.
So cool. Hi there. I'm glad you can exercise your. By the way,
What's your name?
your name
What's-
is Tim, right? Is that a phone paid for by the government? Is that your personal cell
Oh my
phone?
goodness.
This is not my business.
okay,
It's
there-
my company. I don't work for the government.
Oh, but you're being paid by the government, and so therefore you're on your own time. So that may be subject to a Freedom of Information Act request. All the data on that phone.
Really?
Yes.
No, I can do that to your phone.
No, because I don't work for the government.
I don't work for the government
Well, then why are you in the building?
either. I'm a contractor.
So you're a contractor for the government. You're probably subject to FOIA. So I'll try that. And your name is Tim, and you work for
See, I told you you're just trying to sue people.
Yeah.
Bearing Global Solutions. Now, I'm not trying to sue anybody. I just said I'm going to do a FOIA request and get your phone.
I don't know why.
Well,
Why would you do that?
why? Because
That's instigating a problem. You're just
no,
creating
I'm just letting you know you
problems.
might want to delete personal information before that happens. So if you got anything on the phone that's not
I don't
shouldn't
know
be
why.
there, you should probably delete it if I request it and the government requires you give it. That's all I'm saying.
He's just telling me.
No, I just want to see the inside of the building and
No,
not
you're
be hindered.
You're not gonna see inside the building.
See, if you didn't hinder me, we wouldn't have any of these issues.
That's all right. You can't just walk freely in a building.
You can't
These
walk
people's
freely into a public building.
These people's safety is in jeopardy right now because of you. I have
Because of me?
what your intentions really are.
Well, what are your intentions?
My intention is to keep you out of this building.
Okay, so and my intention is to
No,
come and document
I've-
a public
I've
building.
been in situations where certain individuals had other intentions, fraudulently, and then it ended up being worse than it was.
That's
So,
interesting.
Yes.
Can you give me an example of that?
No.
So you're making up stories?
No.
So you're telling me something, but you can't give any examples. So you're being truthful?
Yes, I am.
So how do I know you're being truthful if you can't
You
even
don't
give an
have to
example?
know. Just take my word for it. Like we're supposed to take your word for it.
Well, no. If you didn't contact me or get in my way of entering a public building to come and conduct
This
my
isn't
business
a public building.
with the Fish and Wildlife Services, the Bureau of the Federal Motor
This
Carrier.
is not a public building.
How's
sir.
Federal Motor Carrier not a public building?
They have to make a phone call to them to make appointments.
Okay.
It's all by appointment.
Okay, so seeing a person is by appointment.
So let's
But if
say you
but if
call
I wanted to
and you
read,
make an appointment
let
to
me ask
that
a question. If
agency.
I wanted to read that thing on the wall that says "Welcome visitors," and I wanted that public information right there, could I read it from here where you're blocking my view? See all this public information that's on that
can
board
read it
right
through the
there?
window right
No,
here.
no, I can't read it. You're blocking my view.
Nope.
Obviously, you've got some gray hair. I've got some gray hair. You wear some glasses. And so, again, I'd like to
I don't
ask
even know where
for
you're going with this.
a reasonable accommodation under the Americans with
Some
Disabilities
psychological
Act
situation with you.
to read those public brochures, especially the one that says welcome visitors. So if it says welcome visitors and there's no trespassing signs out here,
You're making up stuff right now as you're going along.
I'm not making up
Yes,
stuff.
you
I've
are.
I've recorded all the entrance to this building. There's no signs out here that say private property, no entrance, by appointment only. It doesn't say that. The door, I grabbed the door handle, it was opened. Just like I went and walked through your back
I
lot.
don't even let a bee fly in this building.
Oh, that's nice. You don't let a
You're-
bee fly in the building.
No.
You're pretty amazing. How do you do that?
If it flew in here, I'd have to try to get it and kill it because it could harm a person or sing them if they're allergic to bees. And you're a bee right now.
I'm a bee.
Yes.
So what are you saying about that?
You're.
What do you do to bees when they go in the building, you said? So what are you threatening me with?
Oh my goodness.
I'm just asking questions,
No,
buddy.
you're instigating. You're insinuating. Stop.
I'm not instigating or
You showed
insinuating.
up at that doorstep right there, and I knew you were trouble from the beginning. Just by the way you had your camera pointing at the building.
So taking pictures of a building
Usually,
is your reason
it's
for
either for
so-
news
so-
purposes.
so-
Are you a newscaster? Are you from the news? Are you from a local station? Or are you just for personal use?
Have you heard of the Constitution before?
Are you for the personal use? Yes, I
So-
abide
so-
by
so-
it.
so
I
can
abide
you-
by the Constitution.
So do you know what the five pinnacles of the First Amendment are? What are the five freedoms guaranteed by the First Amendment? You know that?
You tell me.
I'll be more than happy to educate you.
Yeah, you educate.
So number one, you've got freedom of
Because when
speech.
FPS shows up, they're going to educate you, and we'll all be educated together.
You've got
Alright?
freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, the right.
Are you with press? No. You're personally, you have a personal endeavor.
So how do you define press? What's your personal definition of the
I would
press?
say if you work for a newspaper and you were registered with the with that situation, either TV or radio or something to that effect, I would say you were with the press legally. You were a legal press representative.
So what you're saying is the government regulates the press? Is that your?
No.
Well,
What are you saying?
then who
Are
issues?
you trying to put words in my mouth?
No, I'm just
Yes.
asking questions. You said you've got to work for a huge major corporation basically to be a member of the press, right?
You said you're. This is a personal endeavor of yours. This is what you do for personally.
Are you doing this personally right now for yourself? For
No.
your job? For what you do? Having this engagement with me?
You're engaging us.
I didn't come and
You-
talk to you.
You threw the first stone by entering
But
the back.
I threw the
gates.
first stone by
Yeah.
walking on public property and
You
walking
went
into
to
a.
the back gates, and people. I mean, you're within the boundaries of federal building.
Yeah.
You know you're starting to. You're going to instigate something. You're here for that purpose only.
I'm here
That's
to-
all I can see.
I'm here to record what I can see
Oh,
within the publicly accessible
okay.
places,
All right.
hallways, foyers,
I don't know,
lobbies,
whatever.
auditoriums.
Yeah.
Let me ask
Go
you
to
another
the
question.
Post office. Let's see what they do for you there.
FPS, I
You
believe
can
it
enter
was.
the post office down the street
Homeland
over here.
Security issued a memo or bulletin in 2018. Do you know what that bulletin said about filming in public property and publicly accessible places on the federal properties?
Well, you can go out here all the way around the building if you want.
No, there's a part
Down in here-
there's a part of that memo that includes indoor spaces.
Yeah, well, this isn't a publicly accessible. That's why they have
Why,
access
why is it
controls.
not publicly accessible? Whose order was that?
For security reasons.
So whose
We've had
order?
security issues here in the past.
So security makes it so it's not a public building?
No, nobody can just wander through here and
So only
look
certain
around.
people are allowed to come into the public
Yes.
building.
It's
So
not you just keep saying public. It is not public.
what's not public about it?
There's no, for instance, it used to be a post office.
Okay.
Now, if it was a post office, usually the spaces you can't go in the back of the post office in the mailroom.
Oh no, that's not an authorized space. And see what the
Okay.
rules are at the
So
post office, which are
when
the
this
same
was
rules.
the post office, they used to have all the mailboxes over here, so you can walk and get your mail and check it and read your mail. And then if the doors were open to go and do mail recipient and different work. But one thing for sure, this is not a public space any longer. So
Why
there
does
you
it,
go.
why does it not
So
why does it
if
not
you got that
say,
information
why are there
down,
no
now you know.
signs that say it's not a public space?
Well,
Shouldn't
same
the
reason
public
why-
be notified?
Same.
Just like you've got masks required, so it says masks
Yeah,
required.
we just now
and
got the memo.
And you guys aren't
We
wearing
just
masks.
Now, we just got, well, at the same time, we were putting the mask signs up. We see you coming through the back. We didn't have a chance to put our mask on and cover our faces up, which I don't have to
so
do.
you're putting the mask signs up when you're not wearing the masks,
We just
although the
now-
masks are required, right? Am I getting this right? So when were you gonna put your masks on? Because they were required as soon as you put the sign up, right?
I'm not going to put them on right now because there's a problem
There's a well, aren't you within 6 feet of me too? And you're voluntarily getting within 6 feet of me. I think if
there.
masks are
There's nothing
required,
outside. You're fine. You're outside.
but you're inside.
Yep.
So you're putting my health at risk by coming near me and breathing on me outside, blocking my entrance,
There's
impeding my
there's
path.
nothing in this building. There's nothing going on in this building. It's the city of Carson City. That's the only reason.
The building is City of Carson City. It doesn't. What does that mean? Because I mean, I see the big old screaming eagle there for the United States of America, right there,
Yeah.
behind
whatever.
you. So it's not. You're saying it's a Carson City building now, not a federal building.
No. When they go by these high numbers of COVID, they said that Carson City's numbers are up.
That's interesting.
It's just the area.
So it's the Carson City.
Carson, the city of Carson.
Do you know how many people have died from COVID in Carson City in the last week?
Nope.
No, but you're putting them. So again, my question is, who ordered the masks?
We just got a memo
Who sent the memo?
5 minutes ago, or 5 minutes when you stepped down to the front door to start your little instigating situation.
So who ordered the masks though? Hello, ma'am.
Hey, come here.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
That's a nice mask. I just want to come in and look at the building
No.
and photograph the publicly accessible spaces.
You can't. FPS said not to.
FPS, well, can they get here?
Federal Protection Services told us not to let you in the building.
Oh. So
Okay.
federal, so who's the, so what's your name?
Puddintain.
So your name, so do you have a policy that directs you to identify yourself to the public since you're a federal employee? That's my question too.
No, I'm not going to identify myself to you. Do you have your ID?
Well, I don't work for the government.
I don't care. You're not here on business. I could have a
I am on,
stranger
I am
come off the bus station
100%
over
on
there
business.
and ask me for my ID. I'm going to give it to them. No, you're just the same as they are. Perfect stranger. You're a perfect stranger.
I am.
You could be a danger to anybody here in the building.
So we should probably get one of the federal guys down here to talk to us about the laws, because I want to make sure I'm following the laws. I've got a copy of that memo from
I know you got
from
all
them.
kinds of copies that you sat and you memorized so that you can sit there and talk your talk and use your words against somebody else that has no idea what you just read 5 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago or 3 days ago.
But if you're a federal employee, shouldn't you know the rules?
I know the rules that you're not getting into this building. And you're just here filming away. I have no idea why.
To document our encounter,
Whatever
to ensure
document is
my
pretty
safety,
well
to
useless.
ensure your safety, so there's a record of
no,
everything
no,
that
no.
occurred, and that way nobody can make up any stories. The camera does not lie.
I know, you're just sitting there. You popped out of the woodwork and came onto our territory where we're here every day, and I see people, individuals do their thing, and you're one of the individuals that's doing their thing.
I am. Isn't that how America's supposed to be? That we've all got
Sure.
freedom to do what we're supposed to be
Sure
able to
it
do?
is. Do you just let anybody come on your front doorstep at your house and say, I want in because this is a public space?
Does the government pay for my private property, or do I pay taxes to have access
I
to
don't
government?
know that. I don't care.
But you're asking questions that make no sense.
No,
So
you ask questions that aren't making any sense.
How do you
either.
convolute
You're asking
private
questions
property?
that I have no idea why, but you're pretty much stirring. You're just stirring the pot here.
I'm just asking questions, buddy, and you're blocking my entrance into a public
You
building.
can't come in here. The FPS just told us you're not coming in the building.
Well, I'd just like to know can you tell me what regulation, what memo, what law
No, I'm not
is
gonna-
blocking my
no,
access
you
to
can
the
talk all
public
you
building.
want.
Because I just want to know the rules, and I want to follow the rules. And like I said, from what I'm seeing outside and what I've recorded on my camera, there are no signs, just like that wide open parking lot back there. Is the government supposed to enforce laws? Let me ask that question.
You're just talking to that flag right there. Talk that flag.
No, you're here. You engage me and you're blocking my entrance.
Yeah,
So
you just can't come in the building, wander around, and your flip flops and your shorts in the rain,
why not?
acting like it's nonchalant what you're doing. here.
I'm pretty nonchalant.
Yeah, I know you are. What's the first thing to look in somebody's that's wanting to commit some kind of act against somebody?
So
They
somebody
come
that has-
nonchalant.
so
They can
somebody
come
with-
in in a FedEx or UPS or Postal Service uniform, and you don't know.
So
You know,
what you're saying is
anybody
if the
could come in
FedEx
here.
guy comes, you're going to let him in. But could that FedEx guy be hiding cameras everywhere in his body with today's technology?
It's Rich, not even talking anymore. You don't have an appointment to see anybody, so just
Yeah.
let him talk.
Yeah. Hey, I'm good to stand here till at least 5 o'clock tonight, or 4:30, whatever time you guys close.
Yeah, it'll be less.
Aren't they here? They should come downstairs and talk to me. See, what's interesting is you think everybody's got evil intentions. I don't think people are that evil.
I've seen them.
Oh, we've all seen it.
Yeah.
We've all watched the mainstream media.
I've seen them personally, sir.
Oh, so you got some gray hair. I've got some gray hair,
Well, what your gray hair's doing is just nonsense.
and yours seems to not understand the laws or the Constitution, which is pretty disappointing for a guy
This
that's
is
getting his
basically my second home.
his paycheck from tax dollars.
So when someone tries to enter it that doesn't have any issues with the agencies, they have no business here, and they just want to come in and wander around, that doesn't make any sense.
Why can't people come and wander around and look at the decorations that our tax dollars put on the wall? See the public information that's up there, or for me, I could go to the Federal Motor Carrier. I've got a DOT number, so the Highway Administration. So I do have definite business with them, and I do believe that there's federal law where I can come in. So I'd like to come in and do FOIA requests, federal information requests for information.
No.
So I'd like to talk to somebody to fill out those forms. Could I
That's
please
all right.
fill out
There's
those
nobody here
forms
to
and
accommodate
exercise
that.
my constitutional rights?
There's no one here to accommodate that.
So there's nobody that can do a freedom of information
No.
request. So how do you get information from your government if you can't go to the government and request it?
Call on a telephone. They got a number.
I want to do business face to face.
Well, right now you can't.
Why not?
What if no one's here to accommodate?
Well, how do I know this when you're blocking the entrance and I can't go see somebody?
Oh, there you go. There's a good question.
See, you're blocking the entrance,
How
and
do
I want to
know
go see
that
somebody.
You're not going to cause any harm
It-
to any of these people in this building.
Is your job security?
Well, you ever hear that thing? If you see something, say something. Well, I'm seeing something.
Yeah, so go say something and let me do
We
whatever
did.
I'm. Well, why
And they
aren't
told
they?
us what to do. Federal Protective Services told us what to do.
Cool.
So you're just gonna be here waiting in a waiting game until they show up.
I'm
And
good.
then our hands are clear, and then you can deal with Federal Protective Services.
I'm good with that. I just want to walk
Okay.
in and see the
I'm just
publicly
good.
accessible
Yeah,
places,
well,
the
you're-
foyers, the lobby, the hallways, the auditoriums, whatever is open, accessible to the public.
I don't know why you're doing this.
I'm doing
When
it.
someone said that you can't enter into a place, you insist.
Yes.
You're a forcible person.
I'm trying to exercise my
There's
constitutional
no exercise
rights.
there.
Yes, there is. You're letting me exercise it right now. See, you're the reason I'm doing this, because you're engaging me,
I'm just engaging you
From
just
doing-
just to talk
and you're
to you
preventing
sensibly.
me from doing my legally, constitutionally
I don't
protected
know.
activity.
I don't know. I have no idea in that area.
Filming in public is
You
my
can do
business.
that. You go all the way around this building, film all the trees and the birds
I
and the
have.
flag. You can do all that. But
I
you
have.
can't come in this building and wander around freely.
Why not?
You have to be escorted by someone.
Okay, then you can escort me.
I can't.
I'm happy to let
not-
you escort me.
I'm not the escort to do that.
Okay, then get me an escort. That's the solution. So you just came up with a solution. I
Usually,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
the solution
I'm
is
happy walking around. Somebody
If
can
you
watch me.
have
I'm good with that.
business with an agency, they're your escort.
Okay, I'd like to do
There, I just did
freedom
that
of
for you.
information requests from every agency.
Whatever they say. If they want to escort you, that's fine, but you have to go through them through legal channels.
So to access your government, so one of the First Amendment,
You just can't wander
Issues.
into a building and just walk around.
a government building, you can't a
This
public
this
government
isn't
building.
public. This isn't public. Like I said, it was the post office at one point.
Yeah, I know
And
this.
it was
this-
public then. You
I-
could
I-
walk her in the foyer and
I
check your
spent
mail.
some time reading that sign right there on the side of the building that says United States Post Office.
Yeah, it's
United
no longer
States
the
of
post
America.
office anymore.
Oh, I from what you're telling me, I
You're
can see
just
that.
fingerprinting yourself all over that window.
I'm okay. You know why I'm okay doing this?
They might know you already. I think you're probably on a federal database somewhere.
Aren't we all? Aren't you?
Well, yeah, of course I am.
So,
What do you
so,
think?
so why should that be surprising?
Because you'll probably have a background of your situation that you're doing right now here. I don't know. Maybe it is, huh?
Anyways, my background's probably cleaner than your
Sure.
background.
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't be working in this building.
I wouldn't do what I do either, buddy.
I don't know what you're doing. It's just.
I told
doesn't
you,
make any
I'm
sense.
walking around taking
That's
videos.
all right. You put yourself in a jeopardy doing it with the law or whatever you're doing.
What law have I broken? What
I
what
don't
law do you
know.
think I've broken?
It just it's one of these things where it's like stirring up a hornet's nest, trying to.
My actual hope
Yeah, I
is to
think
educate.
you're making your own problems to create them.
I hope I'm not
creating
making any problems.
I hope you're not either.
I hope I'm educated.
But I'm not the one to. There's somebody else that's going to be more professionally in the Federal Protective Services to accommodate you. So
I hope to shake their hand and
yeah, you can shake their hand.
talk to them and find out what the law says and if
I
I
don't
can
know what you-
access a
no.
public building or not.
I've seen so many people coming and going in here doing different things. You're the newest one I've seen.
Well, isn't that the issue when you work for the government? Is you have to deal with everybody in this country, of all colors, of all genders, of everything, and just be
Oh.
accepting of everybody? Isn't that?
Yeah, you can't accept the criminal mind.
Well, what's criminal again? So you're saying criminal?
Intended mind.
What is the
So
criminal
if you
intent?
Don't know they're in criminally intending situations.
So do people that know laws and understand laws, are they usually wackos? Is that how you define them?
Lactose, what?
That understand and want to know the law, that you define them as wackos?
No. We get individuals that do want to come in here just to get up on top of the roof.
Cool. God bless them, and you got to stop them from doing that because that's not legal, and they could probably hurt themselves.
Yeah.
You got to prevent people from hurting themselves.
They
That's not
wanted
good.
To say a prayer.
I don't want to say a prayer, man.
Yeah. Anyway.
So is he? Where do you have a face mask,
You know
sir?
what? He ain't even talking to him.
So he can come in the building, and he's not wearing a face. Didn't you guys have a face mask enforcer there?
Yeah.
Just checking there, buddy.
See, I'm outside breathing the fresh air, so I don't need one. He's outside.
Yeah, I see that. I'm just watching this, and if you know
I
good,
don't know what you're doing, but it's just.
I'm recording. It's
I
exactly what
know,
I'm doing.
It's your life. You don't have any other one. Whatever you're doing.
They're coming from Reno? Is that what they're doing?
No comment.
They're not in the building? I'm just hoping they hurry up.
You said you had all day.
I do, but you're wasting my tax dollars. You could be mopping a floor or cleaning a toilet or something like that.
I'm sorry, but you're the one that's wanting to wait.
Oh, I'm happy to wait. I'm just
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
I'm just looking at how I look at it is tax dollars wasted.
Nope. We had activists on this property. They did their thing.
Well, isn't activism legal in this country too?
Sure it is. Up
So-
until destructive of property, and that they're past
Oh,
that.
absolutely. No, you can't destroy anything. You can't
Right.
hurt things. I wouldn't want to do that to anything. I just want to look around, document it, and take pictures for posterity and publish
I
it.
don't know why?
Because I want to publish it and
There's nothing really exciting over here to take pictures of and
well, let's go back into history. If
walk through. I mean, if you
would-
want
would you-
history, there's a
would you be
there's an
interested
old train
in?
depot over there, V&T train depot. That's history right there. If you want.
Well,
to
that's
videotape
the
something.
old history. This
That's
is
good.
new history.
I
What
don't
I'm
know
saying
history
is
it is, but I think
is 150 years from now would this be interesting to people? I'd like to have seen
I don't
stuff
think
from
so.
150 years
I
ago in
think
our
it would
past.
be interesting. We're pretty boring. This,
But that's for you to decide living it,
we're
not for the
pretty
future to
boring.
decide what happened. See, so I just want to document things, publish
I know.
things,
I'm sure. you
and
do.
exercise my constitutional
Yeah,
right
you go ahead and do it.
as a freedom of press.
You've got the press credentials, right? You got them on you?
Who prints those? Does the government make those for
I
people?
don't know.
You don't know who makes them?
You see freedom of press, but in order to have freedom of press, you have to be an actual member of the press.
See, that's where you've got it
So
wrong.
are you on with News Channel 4 out of Reno? Or
See, that's where you're misunderstanding.
KNRC?
The First Amendment does not apply to big corporations
Oh.
that own media companies that say they are the press
I
and
think
can
that's
give
what
us
they
the information.
mean, freedom
No,
of
when
press.
when the
And you can print it on a
Constitution
paper
was
if you want to do
written,
that. You're just videotaping me talking to you, so it's no big deal.
but when the Constitution was written, was there a BlackRock? I think that's who owns a lot of the media right now. BlackRock.
I don't know.
So BlackRock, the guy that owns this BlackRock Corporation, so he can issue press credentials, but I can't have my own.
I don't know.
I got a printer at home. I could go make some. Would
Sure.
that make you feel good?
Whatever turns your bolts.
Well, you want the credentials. I'm just telling you, anybody can print anything, and there's
Sure.
no
exactly.
governmental
There you go.
there's no governmental agency that controls the press because you have freedom of press in this country.
Exactly.
So the government can't
See, you're
control
just
it.
wasting a lot of your filming my ugly mug. You can shut it off right now. I mean,
No, I don't shut it. I don't shut things off. I record the whole time.
If you want to, because you're just wasting the film. You're just wasting video time. Sorry to disappoint.
Oh, you have not disappointed, sir. I appreciate your interaction.
Well, that's good. I don't know what your intentions are.
My intention,
They could be-
I'll tell you right here.
Very dark, or they could be very enlightening.
My intentions, I would hope, are very enlightening. My intentions are to walk around to publicly accessible
Yeah.
spaces,
Did you
document.
try that in Reno? Did you go to Reno and try that?
Oh yeah, I've got just the other day.
What'd they give you?
Well, the cops, they walked away.
Yeah.
The
They
cops
had
walked away.
FPS in there?
Oh,
Federal Protection Services?
this wasn't the federal building, but
Oh,
this
okay.
was
No,
a,
see, that
a
wasn't the federal building.
well, see, my constitutional rights, whether it's the federal constitution or the
we can't
state
go on-
constitution,
We can't go walking on.
stay in place.
We
Oh,
can't
good.
go into Area 51 either.
The sheriff's here. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I don't. Yeah. We can't go to Area 51.
Well, no,
Try
that's
that.
that's not a publicly accessible space.
Well, it's your rights, right? You can go and it's desert. It's a free air.
Well, but they've got gates and fences and areas where they say they'll
Ah,
shoot you,
every-
so you don't go into those places. Like
Everybody
this,
thinks they can go out there though.
like this, there is no sign that says no trespassing. There is no sign that says the public cannot come into a public building, and you're blocking my travel into a public space in a
Yeah.
public building.
It's a different story.
in.
Yeah, you gotta go out. Go out. Yeah, go out.
Hello, sir.
Come
See, he's wearing a mask. You're not wearing a mask.
on. Every time you say that, it's just one of those things. I'm outside.
You weren't outside when you blocked me from entering the open door.
I was outside there.
You were standing right here when I opened the door, and you tried to pull it back on me. I've got it on video, man.
Yeah, I know. I didn't have a chance to go put a mask over my face. I was worried about someone harming the agency people in here in the building. Yeah.
But again, like I said, my intentions are in no way nefarious.
I don't know what they are, but
My intention is
they're
to.
just not.
Oh, good. Good. It's a sergeant.
Yeah.
Here. Hello, Sergeant.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
My name is Drew. What's your name?
Sergeant Goins.
Sergeant
I don't
Goins?
shake hands on duty, nothing personal.
And what's your badge
That's
number?
a safety thing, 3509.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So my understanding is you want to go in the building.
Yes, I
won't
wanna-
disclose the nature of your business. and
Oh,
they
I have
won't let
disclosed
you-
it.
So you disclosed who you have an appointment with?
No, the nature of my business is I want to take photographs, video, in all of the publicly accessible areas of the building.
Okay.
Foyers, auditoriums, lobbies, hallways, anything like that. Per the
Okay.
memorandum, I think it was 2018 that came out,
Okay.
that says this is my constitutional right.
So they're not going to let you. I'm not going to force them. So you're going to have to make some other arrangements.
Oh, I don't expect you to force them. That's not your position at all in federal property, I don't
So
think.
what can we do to end this today?
Oh, they can let me in. We'll probably call Federal Protection Services and
Well,
get
you
them
could
to.
do that. I'm not doing that.
Other than that, I just plan on standing here and videotaping and exercising my constitutional right to
As long as you
videotape in
don't
public.
interfere with business, you're
Oh,
not breaking the law.
absolutely.
So
They've
they
let
wanna
people in and
shut
out.
this door, and you want to stay out here and film everything. As long as you don't interfere with their normal duties, their normal
Okay,
business.
as far as shutting the door, though,
As far
I
as
opened
shutting
an
the door, this
open
is a-
door. Let me ask you a question. Do you see any keep out, no trespassing, any signs like that?
No, but it's a federally secured building, and you have to have access. So
Okay.
it's a federal issue that it's secured.
And I want to go and do FOIA requests.
Well, you're going to have to make arrangements for that. You can't just go in without proper. I can't even get in this building without proper notification.
Okay, so is there a memo about that we know of?
I
or-
don't know. It's not my jurisdiction. You
Yeah.
have to take it up with it's a federal building.
Right.
But all I do know is Nevada revised statute says if you interfere with the business or normal operations of a public building, you could be held accountable.
Oh,
And I don't
absolutely.
want to go there. So
No,
I
and
would just rather get the door shut, call whoever you need to call, get a contact number from these gentlemen. So if you want to come in and film, you can make those arrangements and do your
okay.
thing.
So let me ask you a question. If I stand here and hold the door open and people are able to go in and out, egress, with no opposition from me,
Yeah.
would that be interfering with business?
Yes, because their normal business is these doors are shut and secure.
Well, then why was the store unlocked?
What's that?
The store was unlocked when I pulled it. How did I open it if it wasn't unlocked? I've got it on. Don't remember. I've got it on camera. He's got it on camera now too.
So
You were jiggling
So,
all
so
the doors.
listen, I've been working here for 15 years. This building's always secure. So it must have been a mishap, but it's a secure building. I can't even, as a sergeant for the sheriff's department, our sheriff himself, the mayor, can't even walk into this building without some sort of notification or appointment. It's a federally secured building. That's all federal side. I got nothing to do with it. But where it comes into the state side is you can't interfere with their normal operations in any way.
Oh, exactly.
Normal operations is the doors are locked and secured. Why, if it was unlocked, not secured, I don't know. I can't answer that.
So there's no publicly visible posters or things for people to see in this public space then.
Yeah,
So
you
so
can-
what I'm being told is when I look in here and I see it says right there, see it says welcome visitors. That sign right there, welcome visitors. See that sign?
Do you have real ID?
That's
It also said real ID.
there's more to the sign.
Right,
You're
but
reading
so-
welcome visitors.
okay,
but the
so-
content of the sign is about identifications and stuff like that.
Right, there's lots of signs up there for the people to see, the public to see, to disseminate, correct?
Well, hey, listen, we can pick apart all these signs, but I'm not here to debate anything with you.
Oh, I'm not trying to.
All I'm going to say is it's a federally secured building. You want to go in and film, get contact numbers from you guys and make arrangements, do all the filming you want. That's the process. I would even have to do that, so it's no different for you, okay? We do have to shut the door, we do have to secure it, because that's their normal operating procedure, and we can't interfere with that, okay? This isn't the first time we've been here, so I'm gonna
I'm sure you haven't.
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
give you a
know
copy
exactly
of
what
this.
I'm doing.
This is Nevada Revised Statute, the 203 one right there. If you read right there, you can't interfere with the normal operations of a business. So that's all I'm asking you not to do.
Okay.
Not to violate what it says in this Nevada Revised.
Oh no, I do my best to never violate laws.
Awesome. We're on the
I
same
love
page.
laws. I like black and white, and that's why I ask all these questions to make sure I'm understanding.
One second. Okay.
So I just want to understand what law they're enforcing. It's like this gentleman right here with their no masks, but there's masks required signs up in here. So I was asking him about that, and evidently the rules don't apply to them. But
I don't get involved in that.
No, I appreciate
What I do
that.
need to do is ask you to allow them to secure the door and operate under their normal businesses. And then if you guys have a number that he could call if he wants to make arrangements to film, if you guys want to provide that, that's up to you.
775-784-5447.
Okay. So if you wouldn't mind allowing them to secure the door so he can go back to work and
okay, let me ask a question. If I don't release the door, is that under a threat of arrest?
read.
I'm just
it.
asking the question to you.
Read it.
If I don't release the door, is that under threat of arrest?
If they tell me you're interfering with their normal operations, you're in violation of Nevada Revised Statute. It is a arrestable offense.
So-
I'm not saying you're under arrest. I'm saying
Right.
it's
I'm
arrestable
trying to
offense.
be. You see what I'm trying to do here? I'm trying to be very specific. And
it's
if
just-
you're giving me a lawful order, I will always comply.
I'm
I
asking
just-
you to comply with that law. Yes.
so-
I'm asking you to comply with that law.
So what you're saying is, if I do not release the door and it becomes an issue, you will arrest me.
That's not what I'm saying. I said if you do not release the door and you violate that law, you could be placed under arrest.
I could be.
Yeah. A lot of this is a misdemeanor. It's officer discretion.
Okay, so you can
I could
write
cite
me.
you. I could arrest you. I could give you
Okay.
a warning. There's a lot of different procedures. Okay.
Right. No. So, but what I'm saying is, you will take
I will hold you
a
accountable
legal
if you
action
violate-
against me
You will be
if I
held
do not
accountable.
release the door.
if you violate Nevada law.
Okay. And you're saying by not releasing the door, I'm violating Nevada law.
By interfering with their normal operations, you're violating the law. And if that is keeping the door secured, then yes, you are violating the law.
Okay.
So, but I'm not going to keep interpreting stuff for you. It's
No,
right there in
I'm just
writing.
trying to be very clear.
Yeah. So,
Because I don't want to do anything. I want to exercise my rights, and what I perceive is happening here, and what I see is happening here, is my constitutional rights that are laid out in the DPS memo. I think it was 2018.
Okay.
That says lobbies, foyers, hallways, all of that are publicly accessible.
we'll look up federal secured buildings.
Oh,
It's a whole
I
nother section.
have, but
Whole another section.
But again, if you've got an open door that I grabbed and I pulled open, is that a secured building? If you've got an open parking lot back there with the gates wide open that I walked in, walked all around, is that a secured place? So from what I've seen here is they're trying to exercise secured areas. Again, looking around here, no signs, no nothing.
But what I can tell you, for 15 years of me working here, this has always been a secured building.
And I appreciate that information. Thank you for
So
sharing it.
it's not something they're saying it's secured right now because of you being here. It's always been a secured building ever since I worked here. So, and that's day, night, everything.
Okay. Well, under your basically your threat of legal action against me.
I didn't threat. I gave
If
you a copy of
you're
the law.
and you're saying that but you're saying that if I stand here and keep this open all day.
No, I never said that. What I said.
Okay. But I just want to be clear. So
I'll repeat one more time, and you have it in writing. You cannot interfere. You violate Nevada law if you hinder their normal operating daily procedures. It's
Okay.
right there.
I'm trying to understand
written out.
what would be hindering if I'm by a public
Because
door.
their normal procedures are this is a secured building. Without a secured building, which is their normal procedures, then they
Okay.
can't go about their business and their job.
Well,
So you're
I'll-
actually preventing them from working right now, which violates that law. Out here, you can do whatever you want. And I don't want to prevent you from going in, but for me to even go in, I got to make arrangements.
Right.
I got to make a phone call, make arrangements, and stuff like that. So it's no different for you. I don't have any special authority because I'm wearing a badge. It's a federal building. I have to go through the same process.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. The only thing that I have to deal with when I'm dealing with law enforcement is legally I'm not supposed to be lying to you, but legally the courts have said you can lie to me. So you always have to disseminate when you're dealing with law enforcement because the discrepancy in the power exchange that's here, where you've got the legal authority to lie and I do not. So I've always got to disseminate that, and that's really a challenge in our society.
That's why I want to print out the law for you, and that's what I'm just trying to prevent. Is I don't want to prevent, but here's the thing: we're delaying this. I got a lot of stuff to do. These guys need to be back to work, so technically, right now, we're delaying these guys from work.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll let them get back to work.
I am going to ask you to shut the door, let them go back
Okay.
to work.
Based on that, I will
Take it up with.
shut the door.
Take it up with whatever who's authority over this building. It's actually Homeland Security.
Right.
So they contacted their corporation.
Oops, I don't want to do that to you.
They contacted their corporation. Homeland Security called us, and we responded.
Okay.
So when I read the nature of the call,
You know what it was.
I don't mind these conversations. I like to educate people, but this, if you don't mind me approaching you.
Oh, absolutely.
I printed this out, so don't worry about this top part, but this is what I'm worried about, of the interfering with the peaceful conduct of businesses. So being a secured building, I consider that interfering. And just honestly, would you, if it's normally a secured building and they can't keep it secured, would you consider that interfering?
My perception
Pretty
is,
on the cusp.
well, my perception is, I agree with you. If it is a secured building,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been able to come up, and I don't want to again approach you too quickly, and pull that door open.
You're right, but
If it was a
Mistakes
secured,
happen.
that's just one mistake. If it was a secured building, I shouldn't be able to go walk in that back parking lot and go look at the expired registrations on the federally owned vehicles.
is the parking lot secured?
It was easy for me to walk right past the gate, no signs, no locked gate. They even had a orange cone holding up the man door that should have been locked.
What I think you did is did these guys a favor. Maybe they got to look at some of their procedures and make sure that it's secure.
Well, that's part of why I do what I'm doing, is
Okay.
so they can
But-
look at their stuff, because
But here's the thing: what you're talking, the guys you're talking to now aren't the decision makers. They're the guys that just have a job to do. You know, it's 1:45, and they want to get to work, get their job done before they go home. So there's other channels to go up the chain to people who make those decisions. Find out who's in charge of the building. I would start Homeland Security. I'll even give you the agent's name that called us.
Oh, good.
And you can go through him.
Yeah, I'd like that, please.
And get it figured out from there. I just don't want to hinder them from doing their job, and no reason for us to stand on the rain and keep going about this. But if you want to come on my car, I'll write down. It's
kind of a nice, cool day.
His number for you.
okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, no problem. Good seeing you.
You too. Thank you.
It's actually a good break from the heat.
Oh, we agree.
Yeah. I coach boys soccer, and we've been practicing every day after work, and I feel bad for those boys. It's been pretty hot. So
Today is a good day to practice. Go play in the mud.
all right. So this is the reporting party to our call.
Oh, good.
I did not give his badge number, but it gave his contact number and his last name.
That'll work.
So that's the information I have. He's the one who called us and asked us to come out here and talk to you and talk to these guys, and so that's what generated the call for service. Whatever their policies, procedures are from there, hopefully he'll be able to point you in the right direction. I don't know.
If he's
All
the
I
one
know is
responsible, he should know.
Yeah, in all honesty, I've done some training here for these guys in the past, and anytime I've ever had to come here on a call, I always got to wait to get in. It's always always been a secured building. So, you know, there it looks like they might need to tighten it up a little bit if you're able to get in, but that's on them.
Well, and like I said, my goal in doing what I'm doing, which is a First Amendment audit, and thank you for being polite, thank you for being professional. I appreciate that. I just started doing these things, and there's problems. I mean, you go in the back and look at some of their vehicles, and they've got expired registrations from 2021. Why would a governmental agency have expired registrations? Just, I mean, little details, because government holds the people accountable for every little thing. You know, if I screw up at DMV, if you screw up at DMV, they're gonna get you. But yet government, when they have flaws, there seems to be no accountability in life.
Well, on
that's the
vehicle
challenge for the
thing,
people.
just remember this. As a citizen, you can have an unregistered vehicle as long as it's not parked on a public street. So I would say that extends to the state, extends to the government. So
these are vehicles back there that look like they're used daily.
Oh,
It's in this. If you go drive around the back, they've got the big secured fence. That's where I got to walk in, because they had two wide open doors when I walked in there. So I'm just looking at the registrations, going, well, I wonder what these are like, and I'm going, oh, here's one, here's one.
So the only way they're in violation as far as Carson City Municipal Code or state law is that they're on a public roadway.
Exactly.
Off a public roadway.
But I mean,
not our issue.
Just don't answer. But just to be honest, if you saw a federal government tag, you're not even going to read the registration or run the plate.
Well,
because you're just going to.
If you're asking me directly, as a sergeant, I very rarely do that, no matter what the car is, only because I'm out supervising guys and got other stuff to do. So I very rarely even run a plate anymore.
Right. Well, I mean, even just the regular deputies or troopers or officers or whatever, whoever they're working for, government generally leaves other governmental agencies alone and doesn't investigate what they're doing, because, well, government protects itself. It's just how it is.
Respectfully, I disagree. Only because in my 15 years, I've seen officers held accountable for doing wrong by other agencies.
Then let me ask you a question. Would you investigate DMV for me if I shared a complaint with you against a state agency? As the sheriff's office, could you investigate that? Could Sheriff Furlong get into that?
You know, I actually don't have an answer for you on that. Usually anything that's state related, if it's an NRS violation, we could charge, we can investigate.
NRS 200-197.
But if it's something that involves the state DMV, we usually coordinate with the AG's office or their investigators.
See, my challenge is, I don't believe
only because we, as a sheriff's department, we can't investigate everything throughout the state.
Right.
We got our jurisdictions to worry about, so we mainly focus on that. If it went beyond that, like on a patrol level, absolutely I wouldn't investigate.
But the reason I ask is because I tried to file a complaint with Washoe County, and they told me since it was against the Nevada Transportation Authority officer, that they would not investigate, that only a state agency could investigate that.
Well, and it's not that we won't, it's just we have our jurisdiction, our things to worry about. So the state has their agency that does their investigations. We can't do all those investigations, spread too thin. We're short staffed on spread thin.
Everybody is.
I would respectfully, I would take an information report for you, and I would forward it to the investigators for those agencies. Is the farthest that I would go on patrol level. But I would rather see it just done during that agency. It's just easier. We just don't have time to do all that. I wish we did.
You guys are
being real with you.
No, I appreciate that, and I recognize it. And from what I do, I know it for a fact. Like I said, my frustration with government, and the reason I started doing this is my frustration with government and how government's treated me. And what I did is a state agency came in and seized some of my papers without, and I've got a license, so when you've got a license to do something, the courts have given the Fourth Amendment a little bit of flexibility. Instead of a higher getting a warrant going that direction, as long as you've got reasonable articulable suspicion, you can do certain actions. But what I've got is a government employee on a video where he basically admitted he had no reasonable articulable suspicion to seize my papers. Why did he seize my papers? DMV told him to.
Interesting.
And then he tries to make a crime out of something he sees in the papers. And when I ask him where's the crime that he was originally investigating, well, I don't want it. He got very angry.
Well, my opinion on that is everybody needs checks and balances.
And so what I'm trying to do is get some checks and balances. But when I've attempted to do this, and I'm going through the slow step of mitigating it, I'm not getting any results. And again, that's my issue with Attorney General Ford's office is I don't see any results coming out of his office. And you may have the same frustration too from the job that you do.
I get frustrated every now and then, but to be honest with you, at the end of the day, I love what I do. So wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah. As long as you wake up and you're happy, and as long as you wake up, that's the key to life.
There's two parts: wake up and happy, and then go home at night, be able to lay your head on your pillow, knowing that you treated everyone fairly, did everything properly. So
That's the important thing to life.
all right.
I hope I've been good to you. You've been good to me.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Take care.
There's the Bureau of Indian Affairs. I'm going to go try to walk in there now and see if that door's open to me.
Okay.
Because
All right.
have you walked in there before?
I've spoke to them, but I have not been in there
Well,
before.
we'll see if their door's unlocked.
All right. Sounds good.
Have a nice day. Let's go back over here one more second. So it doesn't say the building is secured, it says push the bell. And there's nothing here that says it's secured.